You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
And today on this Weight Loss Wednesday show, we're going to get into rethinking your ideal body. And here's why. Everyone has this ideal picture of maybe what the scale says, what that number is when they step on it. They might have an ideal picture of what their abs look like or how flat their stomach is, maybe how toned their shoulders and arms are, or how lean that their legs look. So we all have that picture in our mind of what that is. And now we have to look at how much work it would take to get there, all right? And that's what I'm going to break down for you today. And that's because here's the thing. If you're 50 pounds away, 80 pounds away, 100 pounds away from your goal weight, it's actually really easy to lose all of that weight except for the last 10 to 15 pounds. And that's the truth. And we've literally done well over 150,000 private training sessions with our clients. That's a lot of data. That's a lot of research. I have pretty much seen it all. I've seen all body types. I've seen all issues with hormone, with thyroid, with whatever it might be. And I can tell you, it is fairly straightforward to lose that weight until you get to the last 10 to 15 pounds. And now I want to go over, what's it about that last 10 to 15 pounds? Well, here's the thing. As you get to that last 10 to 15 pounds, your body fat is starting to get towards that 18 to 20%, 22% at the max mark for women. For men, it's around the 10 to 14% body fat mark. And now to push past that threshold, to really get to single digits for guys and to get down to around that 16, 18% for women, which is just going to give you really defined back muscles and shoulder muscles and legs and all of those things. The body likes to keep a little body fat on, unless you're just genetically gifted, which there are. There's a few people out there who are just very genetically gifted. There's all the other people, too, who are taking, let's just say, not so kosher supplements or steroids that are getting them to those goals as well. But let's just say for your regular person, for your average person who wants to do this naturally, what is it about that last 10 to 15 pounds? Well, the reason is it's somewhat of a protective mechanism that your body doesn't want to lose that last body fat percentage. It doesn't necessarily want to get down to single-digit body fat. And that is, yes, partly a survival mechanism, but it's also partly because you have been exercising already, I'm assuming. You have already been eating well, and now your body says, well, I don't really want to eat any less. I don't really want to exercise any more, so this is where we're going to keep you. And now you say, okay, no problem, but I really want the single-digit body fat. I want the shredded abs. I want the super lean, defined shoulders and legs and all of those specific things. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're within 10 to 15 pounds of your goal weight, you're looking good. You're doing really, really well, and most likely you're on your way to being healthier too, not just from the outside, but also the inside, hopefully, as long as you're doing it naturally and healthily. So here's the second part to it. We can get you to your ideal goal weight, whatever that is. And of course, we do want to make it healthy, but we can get guys to single-digit body fat. We train fitness competitors. We get people super, super lean for both men and women. But we ask the client right before we get there, meaning like you're doing great. You're looking fantastic. You pretty much are at your goals. Are you willing or do you want to do those specific things that are going to get you to that ultra lean defined level? And they sometimes say absolutely. And so then we just work on that intermittent fasting. We might add in additional cardio work on top of their already current workouts. We could add an additional walking for kind of a slow burn. We might play with some wave loading with calories. We might put them on a specific type of detox. So we'll do all of those things. And they all work fantastically well. Our client just needs to know, and that's why I want you to know as well so that you have realistic expectations, that, is this something that you want? Meaning like you're trading a little bit of lifestyle, meaning like you can't go out and have drinks a couple nights a week and maintain that really ultra lean body fat. That's just not the way it works. So which one do you want? Essentially, that's what we're asking. Now, I have a way you can have both. I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. So we ask clients that, do you want to do the extra cardio? Do you want to, change your nutrition, tighten it up just that little bit more? Sure, you could probably still do one cheat meal a week, but what about the other days? So that's what we're asking. And a lot of people say yes, and some people say no. I'm happy. I have a great balance right now. I look good. My body's lean. I'm feeling good. And so they decide like, okay, I want to be able to have a cheat or two a week, and I like the amount of exercise I'm doing and the nutrition. So great, that person's happy. But now we let them know that's not it. You can still get to that ultra lean look you want, but we have to use what we call the celebrity dieting tips. And I share that secret with you because a lot of people were shocked. They didn't really believe this until they actually, like I said, bumped into some of their favorite celebrities or athletes or whatever it might be. That was episode 63. If you didn't tune into that, definitely check that out. But here's the really quick synopsis, is that a lot of celebrities are just like you. They really are. And I've worked with many, many of them. And so here's the thing. They stay 10 to 15 pounds away from their goal weight, just like I'm saying to you as well. And then when they need to diet down for that photo shoot or for that red carpet event or whatever it might be, I've actually worked with them on this. They do a detox, or they do an intermittent fast days, or they just eat really cleanly, which is more high vegetables and high plant-based and all those things. That's what they do. And they only have to do it for 7 to 21 days to lose that 10 to 15 pounds. That's the amazing part about it. So what do I say for, us regular people? I say, well, before you go on vacation, or before you have that wedding, or before whatever it is, just 3 weeks out, start a detox, or start tightening up your nutrition. Start adding additional cardio, and if you're not doing at least three resistance-based training workouts per week, start doing those things. Add in those high-intensity intervals. Now, all you have to do is at 2 to 3 weeks, not your entire life, before that big event, and now you're looking your best. You do have those lean abs. You do have that amazing flat stomach and toned and defined shoulders. All of those things. You have that, and you don't have to do that week in and week out. So keep in mind, that is what celebrities do, and even bodybuilders do the same exact thing. They just start to diet out about 12 weeks from their show. So it's a little bit different. But that's what most people do. Most people, unless their job is to be lean, like that lean every single day, or they're an athlete and they're training like that hard every single day, and they can, they have good genetics and they can afford to eat a little bit more, they're just like you and they're just like everyone else. So I help a lot of clients with this too, right around, we'll say June, at least around the Northeast area, to get lean for summer. And that's essentially what we do. And we might do that every 3 to 4 weeks. We might do a 7-day detox to kind of just get some of that weight off as well. And again, you can use many different programs. It's just the one that I've used for years, and I know that it's guaranteed to work. It works fast. So that is my tip for you today, is rethinking your ideal body. Meaning like, you're probably going to be much happier staying within that 10 pounds to 15 pounds maximum away from your goal weight. You'll still look good. You're still going to be in great shape. But then when you need to, you're going to dial in for 7, 14, or 21 days. I hope that demystifies the process of, do you really need to, bust your butt that hard all the time to get to that super lean look, and is it even worth it long run when you can kind of what they call hack the system to do it a few weeks out. So thank you again for tuning into this Weight Loss Wednesday Cabral concept.
I want to sincerely thank you for your support of this podcast. I couldn't do it without you, and I mean that. I truly do. I also want to make sure you knew that we now have multiple ways for you to find your answers to the most difficult health, wellness, weight loss, and anti-aging questions. You can find podcast-specific topics like thyroid, adrenal, hormones, sleep, digestion, Ayurveda, and many more at stevencabral.com/podcasts that will then link you to your favorite Apple, Spotify, and other podcast players. Plus, all new podcasts and weekly exclusive video content is being added to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Stephen Cabral. And that's Stephen with a PH. Head on over and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the exclusive content. Lastly, if you've ever found any of my podcasts or books to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a review on iTunes or your favorite media player for the podcast. Rating and subscribing to the YouTube and podcast allow me to reach more and more people and help spread my mission of healing throughout the world. Thank you again for being a part of this movement.